Let me just show you the incorrect way. I'm going to take this last bolt out. I'm going to take my Stretch Devices industrial torque wrench. It's important that you use a torque wrench when you're assembling frames and not a ratchet. You're going to set your torque wrench for an M3 anywhere between 55 to 65 pounds, foot-pounds. Okay, and that's indicated by here. Our torque wrench has a nice rubber grip. It has a nice small head here. It has a click button here for easy use, one-handed use. Okay, so this is the incorrect way to assemble the frame, and that's to put the bolt in and torque or tighten the frame. You can hear as I click, that's tightening or torquing the frame. If I do that all the way around, if I tighten this up, I will show you that when you get to the very last corner, you're going to get this problem. You see how there's a big difference? There's a big distance here between this roller and this corner. The problem is that when you try to squeeze that together and insert the bolt, two things are going to happen. You're either going to end up stripping the thread inside this frame, the thread's in here, or if you manage to get it together, you're going to put so much force on this corner and the remaining corners that there would be a possibility that the corners may break. So that is the incorrect way to stretch or put together a frame. Now the reason why this is happening here is the unique design of the roller frame is that when you tighten all the bolts of the frame, it actually will cause the rollers to pre-camber outward. The purpose of that, and this is great, the purpose of actually pre-bowing or pre-cambering the frame is so that it would, once you put mesh on it and put tension, the tension which is going to be, the forces are going to be going inward towards the print area, it's going to minimize the inward bow or deflection of the frame. So by designing the corners in such a way that when the bolts are torqued, it will pre-bow or pre-camber your rollers out on all sides to compensate for the inward deflection or pre-bow. Okay? And so that would be, here's an example of a frame that's completely assembled. And you can see that there is, if you look at it, it is pre-cambered or pre-bowed. I will illustrate this by putting this level on top of this roller, and you can see if I put pressure on this side of the outside of the roller that there is a gap right here on this side. So that means that the roller is actually curving outward or pre-bowing outward. And if I push down on this side of the roller, you can see the distance or gap on this side of the frame now. This is inherently designed into the frame, again for the reason of minimizing inward deflection. So that is why it's important that when you're putting together a frame, you do not torque or tighten, fully tighten all the bolts completely around. You want to just hand tighten it or snug it. Let me just loosen this frame up again. So I just loosen this frame up, all the bolts. Like so. That will now enable me to go to this back corner. see it. So now, without any resistance, I can close up and insert the roller into the corner and put my last bolt in there without any stresses or forces to all the corners. Now at this point, to finalize the assembly, you can now take your torque wrench and just snug it or stop once you feel resistance. Once you feel resistance and the bolt can no longer turn, that's where you stop. You do that all the way around. It's quick and easy. What that does is it now closes up the corners to the roller. And there you have it. That is the proper way of assembling an M3 frame. I hope this video helped.